What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I appreciate you tuning in today. As you can tell, we are not with the 350Z right now. We're with my 1991 Mazda Miata. I absolutely love this thing, and I do not think it gets enough screen time. Today, I'm gonna give you guys 5 things that I absolutely love about this car, 5 different things that the 350Z just does not do. And hopefully these are gonna be 5 things that you haven't heard yet on YouTube so far. So let's get into it. All right, so welcome back. It feels so good to actually be back in the Miata right now. Real quick before we get into this video, I do want to say I made this video about 3 or 4 years ago and it didn't go over too well. It's right here. If you guys want to check it out, you can. It has like a 30% like ratio, so it's not that the video is bad. It's that the first like 9 minutes of the video they have nothing to do with the Miata. So I can imagine how people were a little confused as to what was happening. So I figured 3 or 4 years later, I would remake this video. I've put about 20,000 miles on this car since I've owned it in the 4 years. I've definitely owned it long enough to fall in love with a few different things. So I do want to go over them with you guys and just, explain to you why I love this car so much. Because if you guys follow the channel, you know I love my 350Z. And these cars are, they're actually really similar in a way, but they're also really different. So I'm gonna explain just 5 things that I love about this thing. And yeah, let's get into it. So let's just start with the very first thing while we're already sitting here in the driver's seat. One thing I absolutely love about this car that you really can't do in any other cars, especially the 350Z, anything more powerful than this car really. There's something about being able to drive a car and get it to redline in every single gear. I know that's a kind of a weird thing to talk about, but I mean, in my 350Z, you can only get it to redline in until like second, and then you're breaking the law. So it's kind of sketchy, it's kind of sketchy. But in this car, I mean, you can hit redline all the way to like 4th, and then you can get into 5th, and like you're barely breaking like 65. So I mean, it's just great in that aspect. Like you can really drive these cars, and I just love the fact that you can get it to redline in almost every gear and not break the law. Like the speed doesn't seem insane from the outside. The best thing is how it makes 65 or 70 miles an hour feel. I mean, honestly, 65 in this thing, it seriously feels like 100 in the Z. I don't know why. I think it's just because the roof, it's a convertible, so, you have so much wind noise and it's so loud, and I just love the rawness of this car, and, being able to get it to redline is it just makes it that much better. So that's basically the first thing I love about this thing. And the second thing I'll actually meet you guys outside for. All right, so we're back outside, but check this out, you guys. I know, you're probably like, obviously everyone loves the pop-up lights, Johnny. But see, it's not the pop-up lights that I love. Like, I absolutely love the pop-up lights, but I love the reactions from other people. I mean, you don't have to be a car person at all. You can like trucks, I mean, you can like motorcycles, you can be 85 years old, and you can be like 5 years old. And I mean, people smile at this car when they see it, and that's just the coolest thing ever. I mean, it looks so animated. I have to just look at it right now with you guys. I mean, it just looks like something out of an anime or something, or like a cartoon. I just love it so much. When you look in your mirror and you see 2 round headlights, it's either a Jeep or a Miata, and that's like the coolest thing ever. So, I don't know. And then you can do this, people driving by, you're like, I mean, come on, that is so cool. It's like the coolest way to say hello to someone. Okay, so while we're outside, I figured I'd get this out of the way. Number 3, the third best thing, in my opinion, or the third thing I love about this car. The 350Z, it kind of does it in a way. I'm gonna put these down, and then I'm gonna pop this, because it's almost impossible to talk about the NA without talking about the 1.6 that comes inside. There it is. I mean, this thing is a sewing machine, you guys. The way this thing runs is great, and the thing why it's on this list specifically is I'm gonna get in, I'm gonna rev it for you guys just a little bit. I love how fast this car revs. Like, I rev the Z, and the Z revs fast, but this thing, I mean, draw a bunch of attention to ourselves. I can't get enough of it, honestly. I love the 1.6 that's in this car, and a lot of people will tell you, the 1.6 has no torque. very little power. And you know, it's true, it's not the strongest motor ever, but you know, there's something about it, the way it revs out. And you know what's interesting is I've never actually gotten to drive the 1.8 Miata, and I'm sure the 1.8 Miata is, you know, that extra power feels great. And I don't know if it actually revs just as fast. It probably does, very similar engine. You know, that's one of the things I love. I just love the motor in this thing. All right, Johnny, why are you showing me a hubcap? Well, actually, I'm not showing you the hubcap. I mean, I am showing you the hubcap, but literally one of the best things about the Mazda Miata is the fact that it weighs like around 2,100 pounds. That's seriously like 1,200 or 1,300 pounds lighter than my 350Z. So, I mean, you can throw this thing into a corner at like 40 miles an hour and no issues. Like, it will handle the corner, no problems at all, which is insane on stock suspension, which probably needs to be changed. I think, honestly, every time I go over a speed bump in the back, it hits. So definitely, I think the back is done. But the weight of this thing allows you to take corners so fast. I couldn't even imagine with aftermarket suspension how insane it would be. I do have coilovers that I've been waiting to put on for actually like years now. I've had them for like 2 years. I've just been waiting to do it, okay? I've just been waiting to do it, but we'll get around to it and it'll probably go into corners even faster. So that's another thing I love about this thing. You could just throw it into a corner at like 50 and you're good, like no issues. All right, guys, so on to the very last one. We are back inside the Miata because I figured it would be the best place to talk about it. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like 90s cars or 80s cars or even early 2000s. I just love the smell of older cars. And I don't know if it's like the glue they use or if it's like just old plastic or like old fabric or something. I was Googling a little bit and it said that kind of like the mustiness that old car interiors get, I guess it comes a lot from the firewall and the combustion happening on the other side of that for so many years. It kind of, you know, creates this musty smell. But there's something about, you know, when you get into an old car and it's got that old car smell, I just love it. And, you know, Mazda Miata, it captures that smell perfectly, which is so interesting. I've never been into like an MB or an NC or an ND, but I just figured it like wouldn't be the same. So the MB is probably pretty similar. It's pretty old now, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. That's 5 things I absolutely love about this car, and this is a car I'm never gonna sell. I've decided while I was making this video that it's such a unique car, and I have one now that selling it would be just kind of pointless, and I don't know, I don't think I'll ever sell this thing. You know, I'll be 75 years old driving this Mazda Miata around occasionally. You know, I don't think it'll be a daily, but I'm definitely gonna own it probably. And if anyone's curious, I don't know, I keep seeing this. If anyone's curious about this, I smashed my finger in a car door like a week ago, so it's healing. I didn't paint my fingernail, okay? But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hit the thumbs up if you learned something. Drop a comment down below if you have any questions, comments, or if you guys just love Miatas, let me know down below. And hit the subscribe button if you like videos like this and you want to see more of them. I'm always posting videos like these. I also have a Nissan 350Z I'm posting all the time, and I'm back with a new video every 3 days. So definitely hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any more of my future videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.